Happy Seahawks Sunday to everyone out there. And I know it may not be too happy of a Seahawks Sunday with the Seahawks losing, unfortunately, to the New York Giants, 17-12. And I gotta admit, I felt like the defense actually played a pretty solid game. I actually think the defense continues to improve. I want to say the defense got at least two sacks, and gave the offense of our team the opportunity to score points and even to the very end win the game. So as this game was progressing and as the defense was getting stops throughout the game, especially, in the first half, I was thinking to myself, I said, this team, if the Seahawks lose the game, it's not going to be because of the defense. It's going to be solely on the offense, and that's what happened. Even if Seattle happened to pull off this game, I'm still hoping either way, especially now that we lost, that this game will serve as a wake-up call a little bit to, in order to get Seattle to where they want to go, and that's to get to the Super Bowl and win it. And right now, I know the New York Giants do have, they got a little bit of a defense, but it was very, I'm disappointed in some ways when it comes to the offense, especially the way the offense started this season. At one point was unstoppable. And now it feels like we kind of reversed a little bit in the sense that now the defense is coming together a little bit, and now our offense is sputtering a little bit. So, we shall see what happens, but I'm still encouraged by what I saw with the defense. I know they gave up, some of them long running plays, I think in the third quarter. But once again, despite, the offense, being anemic, and the defense, having those plays against them, Seattle still had the opportunity to win the game. And that's what I always loved about this Seahawks team, especially with Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson leading the way. But, yeah, this, to me, was on the offense for not answering the call. To me, even when it was 5-0 over and over again, and the offense would get on the field, they might get a first down, and then, Russell Wilson would get sacked. And then, nothing would happen. So, my hat's off and credit goes to the New York Giants for being opportunistic and getting the win. But at the same time, that offense, this is on them, in my opinion. So I'm not concerned about Russell Wilson. I was watching a little bit of the press conference today, or post-game conference with Pete Carroll, and they were asking him, is he concerned with Russell Wilson? And I'm not remembering what his answer was. I know he said he wants to look at the film and kind of, seeing what happened as the game went on. But I personally am not. Russell will bounce back. A lot of those, especially when he was getting sacked left and right, some of that's on that offense. And I think not having two of our starters, I'm assuming, I think on the right side, hurt us. And, and it showed. And so some of them sacks were definitely on his line for whatever reason, being able to pick up either the blitz or, a linebacker coming in and all those things. So that moving forward, like I said, this is disappointing in the sense that this is a game Seattle should have won, and in my opinion, should have won handily. And I was willing to, even if let's say Seattle did pull this game off, I would have definitely been on that wagon of, a win's a win's a win. But at the same time, if they want to get into the playoffs and go far and hopefully get to that Super Bowl, they can't do like what they did this afternoon. So, everything is still in front of this team, I believe. I feel like they're a little, they might have put themselves out of reach when it comes to the first seed in the NFC. Because I was hoping Seattle wouldn't lose any games for the rest of the regular season, and then the Saints to stumble to one, which would have gave us a chance to get that number one seed. But and I think as it stands now, because the Seahawks lost and I think the Rams won, the Rams will be in the lead in the NFC West. But I think that's going to be I don't want to say a revolving door, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Hopefully, when the Seahawks meet the Rams again, we can get that win, and hopefully we're in a better spot health wise as well. But yeah, this was a very tough game to watch, especially on that offense. Like I said, I felt like the defense, and not to sound like a broken record, but I felt like the defense really stepped up and kept Seattle in the game. And I know, Russell Wilson and the offense got that touchdown. And if not the third, I guess in the third quarter maybe or so, if not the fourth. But, it was too little too late by that point, especially since they weren't able to capitalize on that final drive. So I still believe this team can do things and go far. And their playoffs aspirations are still there. And the Super Bowl, is still there. But they got to, once again, improve on some things, specifically on that offensive side of the ball. And, not that the defense was perfect, obviously. But that's where my concerns are right now when it comes to this team. But outside of that, I think they'll bounce back next week. They are going to play a very tough Washington, in my opinion, a tough Washington football team defense. So as much as, some of us may expect for Seattle to roll over that team, nah. Especially if that defense is a pretty legit one. So, but even with that being said, I believe they can bounce back next week and then, hopefully string some more wins for the rest of the regular season and be as prepped as they can be for whatever seed they end up in the playoffs. So, with that being said, that's my thoughts on this game. And as disappointing as it was, I still have hope with this team, and I think they can still do some great things and hopefully get far to the Super Bowl potentially. So outside of that and beyond that, I would just leave it with that and say, go Hawks.